Are you looking forward to the series?
Absolutely, that was our big summer. That's what we were targeting for the summer. If we had a good turnout against those guys, then our summer was going to be a success, and that's what we were aiming for.
Do you set yourself goals for a series like that?
For me personally, no. The team does a little bit of goal setting. What we want to do in the one day is obviously in the test matches. But as a personal, I just want to go out there day by day, and I think if I'm doing that, concentrating on that, that's when I play my best cricket.
How do you stop them? You don't! As Nathan Astle, the king of Carisbrook, surely, wraps up this brilliant series.
Your exceptional test series was set up with a very, very good one-day series too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, coming off 100 in the last one-day series, the one-day game, against England and Carisbrook always does your confidence the world of good. And then going into the test series, when your confidence is high, you've got to try and carry it on.
Did you feel that your form, given that 122 not out in Dunedin, did you feel that it was there, something special could be just around the corner?
You always hope there's something special just around the corner, but no, you don't get that feeling. You just go out there and you try and concentrate on every ball, and that's what the game of cricket's about. You try not to get ahead of yourself, but we all do. We haven't sorted that out yet, but if you can do that every time, then you can have more success than you are failures.
Okay, let's talk about the innings now. 119 for 3 when you strode to the crease. There was still 431 mammoth runs needed to win. What was going through your mind at that stage?
Survival to start with. We thought if we could bat 2 days, we could probably win the test. I mean, we're chasing 550, so it's a long way off, so you can't just look at the target. So it was session by session, so I just went out there. I'm always going to be aggressive because that's the way I play. If I play any other way, then I'm probably going to struggle. So that was my aim when I first went out there.
How do you break it down in innings like that when you have to bat for 2 days? You want to contribute significantly, of course. Do you break it down into very small chunks?
Absolutely. It's session by session, but the biggest thing for me is ball by ball. And with such a long time to bat and such a big score to chase, if you're not focused on the next ball, then you're going to struggle. And that's what I tried to focus on that day, and everything seemed to fall into place. Okay,
so you got to 50. You got to 50 very well. Stephen Fleming was out. You'd been joined by Craig McMillan, another attacking player. Still more of the same though, was it?
Yeah, I mean, Macca and I we enjoy batting together. We both play similarly, and we were talking about it would be a great score to win, I suppose, in a joking sense to start with. And he played his shots, and we just started to get a roll on, and it was starting to get enjoyable out there. 3,000
test runs, a big milestone in any test cricketer's career. You knocked that off just before you got your 100. I mean, were you focusing on that at all? Was that in the back of your mind?
I had no idea. I think with me, the biggest thing, the stats, just hopefully they fall into place and you get told about them afterwards. And to me, if I'm doing that, then I'm concentrating on what I should be doing, and that's watching the ball. And it's always nice to get those milestones and be told about them.
You got your 100. It was an exceptional 100. 8 down at this stage. Ian Butler joins you, debutant. Was that where you just really said, well, I'm going to open my shoulders good and proper here, I've got absolutely nothing to lose?
I don't think I ever said that to myself, and I think that's what people can't actually believe I did. I just tried to be positive, and obviously it did work, but there wasn't a time in the innings where I said, okay, I'm just going to try and belt everything out of the park, and it never happened that way. It just all kind of rolled into one, and I just played, and it all worked out well.
What about the Chris Cairns factor? I mean, he scheduled obviously to bat around number 6. He didn't appear because of his injury. Did you know that before the innings started?
Yeah, I knew that if we had a lot to get, Kenzie wasn't going to bat because his knee was quite bad. And if he had to come in earlier at 6, maybe I wouldn't have played the way I did. So there's a lot of ifs and buts that you can look at. But when he strode out there, and because I was going well, it was always good. And we had a lot of fun out there when he arrived at the crease.
Well, fun it was. I mean, you were 9 down, still needed 217 to win. I mean, surely you couldn't win from there.
We never thought about it. We're on a roll. We're in a momentum swing, and you could tell the English were getting a little bit worried. So we just tried to just enjoy it, and it just kept on going and going and going.
When you look back and you think that Adam Gilchrist, who's a fantastic stroke maker in his own right, and he'd just knocked off the quickest double 100 just a couple of weeks before, you've just now knocked him off by 59 balls. I mean, it's exceptional, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's even looking at it now. I don't know if I know I've got the record. Looking at it is like, is that really me out there doing that? It was surreal. I think some of it. It was like I was out there, but I wasn't out there. I was just having a lot of fun, and I can't really remember any particular moment out there. It was just all rolled into one, and it was an hour and a half, 2 hours of good cricket.
Astle 217 minutes. And the only other fastest 200 in minutes was by Bradman. 214 minutes at Leeds back in 1930.
And to threaten the Don's record in terms of, you know, minutes for a double hundred, and to nearly knock him off, but not quite. I mean, it's just about right to be in second place, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I had no idea once again of how long or how many minutes I was behind him or ahead of him. So, as you said, to be second to the Dons is, I suppose, an achievement in itself.
Did Chris say anything to you in particular that you can remember?
Well, it got to a stage when we got to about 110, and I was starting to think that we could really win this, and he was saying, "No, you keep going." So we had discussions, and we didn't agree, but it was just one of those things out there. If it had come off, it would have been brilliant. Looking back on it, maybe I could have changed the way we played it in the end.
Can I ask you, what were the things you didn't agree on?
When we got round to the 100 mark, I thought we're in with a good show here. We've got two batters in. The wicket was playing well. The field was spread. I said to him, "Can we pull it back a little bit? What do you reckon?" And he said, "No, we're in a zone here. We're in a momentum swing. So let's just keep going, get to about 60 or 50 even, and then really have a good look at it." Thoughts of potentially keeping the ball on the ground? I mean, I sensed that if that had happened at some stage, Nasser saying, "Well, I think it would have freaked." Yeah, I think it got, as I said, looking back on it, we should have probably tried to get ones, noodle around for a little bit, and then let the field come back up, and then maybe have gone again. Maybe that would have been a better way to play. But as we said, we were out there having fun, and we just thought everything was going our way, so why not pull off a fantastic win if we could have. Now, it was one of the greatest displays of six hitting that we've ever seen, that Test cricket history's ever seen. Your favourite? Have you got a favourite one? Can you remember one in particular? The one over cover off Caddick, I think that went up on the roof, was my favourite one. The biggest one I think was a straighter one off him again that went out of the ground, but the one over cover, that came off the bat pretty well. What about the bat? I mean, a lot of people must have asked you about the bat. It must be a beast. There's a lot of wood in it. It weighs about 212. It needed a few repairs after that innings, so I got that fixed up and then carried on using it. And then I was humming and hurrying, which I just put it on the mantelpiece or just carry on using it. So I am using it at the moment, so hopefully it's still got a few more runs in it. Not for long, I would dare say. I guess it will hit the archives. Yeah, I mean, I will treasure that one. I'll put it away somewhere and box it up and keep it for a long time. Keep it, or have you had any offers for it? Haven't had any offers yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. Would it be, I mean, I might be stating the obvious, but the biggest and the best innings of your life? Yeah, well, I think what amazed me was just the length that we went for. Sure, sometimes you get in that zone and you're hitting the ball well, you get a few sixes, you hit a few fours, but then you sky one or you nick one. But just the amount of sixes I hit, fours I hit, and just the duration, of the time that I was out there and doing it was what surprised me. So the bottom line also is that New Zealand lost the Test match. You've contributed magnificently. Did you have a conflict of emotions at the end? Yeah, I did when I dropped Graham Thorpe on 4. He went on to get 200, but a lot of people have asked me that. It's one of my best innings and probably the best innings I'll ever play in my life. And obviously there's a part of me that's saying we lost a Test match and we were down 1-0. So definitely conflicting emotions. I'd have to say it'll be a hard innings to probably take away from me, I think.